Hi, this is Stan Bush.
Hi, this is Stephanie Calvert.
This is John Payne.
This is Jack Hughes.
Hey everyone, this is Britt Lightning from Vixen.
Hi, I'm Carrie Stevens.
Hello, I'm Kofi Baker.
And you're listening to Play That Rock and Roll.
You know, another person you mentioned already, I got to ask about, of course, because he's another Eagle now, Vince Gill. You know, I know Vince was on like the last 3 albums of that original run, and some great songs in that era.
Still right here in my heart, where you've been right from the start. You're still right here in my heart. Oh, baby.
How did he come to join the band, and what did his presence mean for the band?
Well, in '77, we were playing a show in Oklahoma City at the Civic Auditorium. That was Vince's hometown, and he was in the opening act, a bluegrass band called Mountain Smoke.
Okay.
And we were all standing out there listening to these guys, and they were just knocking it down. I mean, you know, we're all from Kentucky and Southern Ohio, so we know a little bit about bluegrass, and these guys were smoking it. So we asked Vince if he'd like to come up and sit in. And he says, sure, I know you guys. He said, sure, I'll come up and play. What do you want me to play? Play whatever. So he brings up a fiddle and he brings up his acoustic guitar and played on 2 or 3 songs. And it was like, you know, wow, hand in glove. So I asked him after the gig, I said, hey, man, you want a gig playing rock and roll? He goes, nah, I'm a grasser. And so I said, well, if you ever get the itch, you know, to play some rock and roll, here's my number, and, you know, let me know. So 2 years later, we're in LA. Larry and Timmy had left the band to go solo, and we were doing auditions at SIR in Los Angeles, and the day was almost over, and this guy shows up, a friend of Vince's, and that's how he got into the audition process. You know, I know those guys, blah, blah, blah. So he didn't cut the mustard. He wasn't really what we were looking for. So we were, you know, this is like 8 o'clock and in the evening. And, you know, we said, hey, Vince, you know, if you're not doing anything, you want to, you know, grab a guitar here from SIR and maybe jam a little bit. And he says, I got my guitar in the car. Oh. We played for 4 hours. Wow. I asked him at midnight, now what do you think? You think you might want to join the band? He said, yep, I'm in. And so that's how we got him in the band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what did he bring to those 3 records he was on? Did he do a lot of songwriting, or was he the front man, or what was his role in that later era?
Well, you know, he was the lead guitar player, lead singer,
okay.
Even though we had other singers in the band, you know, but he was just starting out as a songwriter. So the songs that were on, like Can't Hold Back, were some of his earliest things. But I mean, he brought brilliant guitar playing. I mean, he could play anything from Tony Rice to Larry Coryell, you know, or Larry Carlton, and just brilliant. And so, you know, some of the songs like Can't Hold Back, the title track on that record, was almost like jazz rock, you know. And so his songwriting had just started out, but his singing and playing were just, you know, that's a gift from God. I mean, there's no denying the talent from that kid, you know. And so we were on our way again. It was a real shot in the arm. And then you know, after Can't Hold Back, the RCA didn't quite know what to do with us, especially knowing how to spell the name of the band.
Oh.
So we left RCA, and Bruce Bird at Casablanca heard we were looking for a deal, and he signed us. You know, and that was an interesting experience, you know, being on a disco label with Donna Summer and Kiss. You talk about a Christmas party.
Right.
It'll be in the book.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of seeing the show. Your keyboardist, Randy Harper, did a great job in between every song basically telling the story, about how it came to be, or a funny anecdote about it. And that bit about RCA, he talked a little bit about it during the show, and man, that was really interesting and really funny. So when you say it'll be in the book, is that a joke, or are you actually working on something?
Oh, I've been working on a book for 50 years. So,
Oh, that's so great to hear. Okay, good.
But
Well,
we'll see if that ever pans out. I mean, it's to me, it's I was there, so I remember all this stuff. But I mean, I've read a lot of artist biographies and memoirs and stuff like that, and there's a few good ones and a bunch of clunkers.
yeah,
I mean, it's like, hey, man, how many road stories can anybody relate?
right.
But yeah, that was one of those kind of things where, getting back to Vince's contributions, it's just when we hired Jeff Wilson, who was a friend of Vince's in Los Angeles for the Firing Up album. Patrick Boland was a guitar player, played steel and sax and guitar, and he and I wrote a few songs on Can't Hold Back. And then Vince brought Jeff to the band, and Jeff was a great songwriter, and he brought in songs like Let Me Love You Tonight, Still Right Here in My Heart, Too Many Heartaches in Paradise, Feel the Fire. Jeff was really a great songwriter, and it fit once again perfect into PPL's style. And Vince, sang the hell out of his songs.